TOA, Fit Body Forever, and Fit Body Bootcamp communities. What's up, everybody? Robert Linkul, trainingtheolderadult.com, and your Director of Education over at Fit Body Bootcamp. It's nice to see you all, and I am excited to bring you in now what we're going to consider part 2 of our longevity daily series. I did this first video about a week ago, and it definitely brought a lot of interest and great discussion points. And I'm just loving the social media site because they do such a good job of showcasing the research and strategizing how really anybody over the age of 30 should kind of be pursuing the world of health and fitness if they want to live well into their 70s and 80s and 90s and have their bodies be fit and strong. But they also put together some really nice visuals, and that is part of, par for the course, if you will. That is part of presenting materials for people, is you got to do it in a way that is intriguing, and it's a huge help. So, and I love stuff like this where you just get all of it in one shot, and then let's discuss each one. All right, so without further ado, let's dive into this a little bit. This one is going to be we'll talk about here in a second, is the 5 exercises that predict whether you'll need help at 80 if you're doing these or not. But one of the strategies they suggested in here too is this. This is kind of the precursor, checklist. Are you getting 7 hours of sleep every night? That is non-negotiable, and that is something that is highly encouraged. I know there are some people that are like, oh, I can make do with 6, or I can get away with 5. If you know what your number is, I need this amount of sleep to be fully functional, every day, etc. Make sure you're getting that number. And then, you can sleep bank a little bit, where on the weekends, maybe you get a little bit more. During the week, it's a little bit less, but ideally you want to have just a consistent, 7 hours-ish, if not more, of sleep. Sleep is super important, especially as we get older, especially for our brains. Lift something heavy 3 times a week. I could not agree more. I would suggest probably 4 days a week, especially if you're, let's say, post 30 and you haven't started lifting yet. I would encourage you start with 2 days and then build to 3 and then eventually put into 4. I do 4 workouts a week with weights, 3 of them that are, full body strength training focused, etc. And then the 4th one is like arms and calves, or just kind of auxiliary, I want my muscles to look good kind of a workout. But those other 3 are full body and heavy, and we're getting it. Walk every day, 8,000 steps minimum. Love this. Our industry has adapted that 10,000 steps a day. 10,000 is a lot. If you have a desk job, 10,000 is really hard to get. You got to get out, eat lunch, go for a walk for the remainder of your lunch hour. You got to get a lot of steps in. But the beauty is that the value that comes from walking and the good that comes from it, it's just got a laundry list that goes on and on and on. And if you can walk with some load, and that's where the ruck component comes in. If you go to Go Ruck, here, let me show you. Hold on. Okay, so if you go over to Go Ruck and click on their rucksack, rucks and gear right here, and then training rucks and vests, you'll see, number one, they just have the best gear. I don't have any affiliation with them. Number one, I make no money for suggesting this. I just know that this is by far the best piece of equipment on the market by a mile. Their rucks are fantastic. Are there other competitive vests that are probably better? Sure. But their rucks, 20 to 1, they're so much better. So here's a real basic one that just holds like 10 pounds and off you go. But if you really want a good ruck, the Rucker 5.0, this is one they just released. This is their brand new one. $265, you'll never need another one. They are so well made, so good for you. There's Monster. That's their dog company mascot. And you just slide the plates in there. It's got pockets for all your goodies, all your other stuff. You can pick whatever color you want, camouflage or, brown, tan, gray, black, etc. Okay? So there's that. But then what if you travel all the time? And this is the really cool part. These, the GR3, I have one of these guys, and it just kind of looks like a regular everyday backpack, but you're out for a travel And it's got a spot for your laptop. It's got all kinds of different pockets in it for your traveling. They've got like giant backpacks you can put all your gear in. There's the Bullet; those are great. These guys, I mean, they just make like fantastic products. Here it is. This is the one I have, and I freaking love this thing. Okay, mine's brown. Mine's a tan brown. Great backpack, just so good, and it can slide a plate. You can put a plate in it, and that's the beauty of this. Like you can just have a backpack that kind of looks like normal. Here's one in leather. Like look at that guy. I mean, nobody's going to notice you're carrying around, and it doesn't even have to be like a plate. You're like, you want me to carry a plate into the airport? No, you put your backpack, you put your computer and all your other goodies and your headphones and whatever else you're traveling with in there, and that's 15 pounds. All the stuff that I bring with me, my wallet, my keys, and et cetera, everything that I put in my backpack. I got my regular bag I'm carrying or pulling along, and all my my clothes, shaving, all that good stuff. But then my backpack has my textbook and my other, I bring all these things with me to present. I've got 15 pounds worth of stuff in there. And then you're trucking around the airport while you're in there. It's awesome, man. Like you're building in those 8,000 steps minimum, but you're also adding in some other great value with the load that you're carrying. So check out the rucks, goruck.com. They're fantastic. Eat whole foods. If you just cue on cooking most of your food, that would be something. Meal prep and cooking, if you did that, it would be so much healthier for you. And that's been a huge kick on our end, is like just trying not to eat a lot of processed foods and reduce sugar by far. I'm a total sugar addict, and that's a big problem for me right now, is the thing we're addressing. Fiber, you need lots of it. Feed your gut, help your process, help your BMs, if you know what I mean. Good fiber in there. Don't smoke. Period. This shouldn't even be a discussion. Like, maybe unpopular opinion, but smoking cigarettes, ridiculous. Smoking weed and anything else, very unhealthy for you. Still, in my opinion, I'm sure everybody will debate that and whatnot. I think filling your lungs full of stuff is really a bad idea, and it would be better for you to just find something else to invest. I would rather you do. I don't know. I don't really get the point of smoking and like what it does for you, because I've never done it. So I don't really know, like, oh, I could just do this instead and I'd get the same feeling. I don't know what that is. But I know a lot of people said they smoked because it suppressed their appetite and it gave their busy mind like something to focus on. I mean, get into Rubik's Cube, man. Like, drink more water. That'll help your appetite. Like, there's other things you can do. We've got some gumaholics in our family, people that just gum all day long because that's their, instead of eating, they're chewing gum, etc. I don't know. There's strategies. And then don't drink often. That's, I'm a non-drinker, so I don't know. I know this one's a hard one for some folks. And then have people around you. I think that's so good. People that you need. Try to probably spend less time around people that make you feel bad or make you feel unvalued, etc. Especially as you get older, like just less and less time for BS, in my opinion. Just all the time that you have, make it worth it. Because, I mean, we are seeing at this point in life, like nothing is guaranteed. We're not guaranteed the next 10 minutes, let alone the next day. And we went into this weekend, Mother's Day weekend, with this whole plan of what we were going to do. And on Friday, the whole plan shifted, and I was in the hospital with Keegan the whole weekend. And she ended up having a massive surgery to have her 2 thumbnail chunk-sized discs that ruptured in her back removed. And that was not part of the plan. Like, that was not on our radar. It was not on our bingo card, as they say, for things we were going to do this weekend. And things change. You are not guaranteed anything. And why spend time around people make you feel bad? Why spend time doing things you don't like doing? Have a reason to wake up every single day. Okay, there's great value there. Mental health and positivity and good energy and faith, all of this has so much to do with what the purpose of our daily activities should be. I encourage you to find that. All right, let's turn and burn through this here. The next 5 exercises will predict whether you're going to live to be 80. For women over 40, the 5 movements your body asks you to keep through menopause and beyond. All right, let's take a look. See, again, just visuals. I love these, as simple as they are. The sit-to-stands with no hands, carrying heavy stuff. Single leg, eyes closed, sure. Like, three-dimensional space and spatial awareness and whatnot. When you close your eyes, you lose that. And so now your equilibrium, your ability to balance, like a lot of that changes. The dead hang is one I'm just so not a fan of right now. I know it's a big thing. Like, it's along with sprinting. Sprinting is a big thing right now. Like, people are like, we got a dead hang and we got to sprint. I'm like, cool. All things that need to be like baby step, gradually increased and introduced into your system, into your schedule. Because if you do it too aggressively, injury. And we're not just saying like, oh, you'll be sore, like catastrophic ruptured Achilles, torn hamstrings, right? Both of your shoulders, torn labrums or rotator cuffs or whatnot, and then getting up and down off the floor. Okay, love it. All right, number one, sit to stand. 3 sets of 10 every day, add tempo, add load. Agreed, the threshold, 12 plus reps in 30 seconds. Yeah, and if you're over, that's at 50, and then 10 plus if you're over 60. This is CDC researched material for the sit to stand. There's a 30-second version of it, which is this, where on average, male, female, it's right around 11 to 12 reps is where you really want to be at in 30 seconds. And that is without load. It's just your body weight. You're sitting 2 parallel, so your thighs are, or your knee and your your knee and your hip are parallel, right? And you sit to typically an 18-inch box or a bench, and that's 46 centimeters for our Canadian, European viewers. And you don't put your hands, on your thighs. You either prison style, hands on your head, arms out to the side, hands crossed, as they say, whatnot. The other version is do 5 of those as quick as you can. And we want to see sit down, stand up, totally unload, and then return to standing. And that's a power test, and that adds to, are you a fall risk or not? So both of those are great. And again, you should be able to do, 5 sit to stands between like 4 and 6 seconds, something like that. They want you to be able to turn over really quick. Maybe it's 8 seconds, 4 and 8 seconds, somewhere in there. All right, so I love this one, but of course, as you get better, add load. We just got a brand new piece of equipment. Let me show you. Man, I'm so excited for this. This Keegan Surgery actually gave us kind of an extra emphasis to get this. And this is from Sidekick. Again, I have no financial connection here. Sidekick, it's a stand, weighs about 75 pounds. It goes in 2-inch increments in which you can adjust the height on this guy. And then at the top, you've got these handles that are weight bearing and can handle different pressures. I am going to be rigging bands to this. We're going to be doing sit to stands and steps, and we can add load underneath it. There's space for loading. I have a whole plan of what I want to do with this thing, way beyond what it was designed for use. This is their whole thing was, let's use this as a rehab tool for knees and hips, and it is. I know it's awesome, and we can do step ups, and it's good stretching, et cetera, et cetera. I am going to use it for a whole different reason. It's going to be our strength tool, and pending how well this goes and how much I like this, which I think I'm going to love it, we're eventually going to have just 2 of these in studio, and this is going to take place of a lot of gear that we have right now. So I'm thrilled. I'm super excited to get this in, and it's been on the radar. We're like, let's get it. And then once Keegan, we're in and we're going for surgery, and I'm like, let's get online, ordered fast, get this thing here. I'm really excited to get that in. So the reason I was showing you that is it's a great tool for sit to stands because of the adjustable heights. These boxes are awesome. I love them. And if you're going to jump on stuff, that's obviously the thing you want to jump on, because if you miss, you don't scrape your shins off a metal box. You land on the soft cushion. However, if we can have something that is in 2-inch increments, super measurable, it's heavy, it can handle load, and I've got those support sticks on each side to assist me in my up and down, controlled descents. I can actually do step downs because I've got a bigger platform to stand on with something to hold on to. Like, I'm thrilled for this thing. Cannot wait. And I'm hoping to develop some kind of relationship with Sidekick because, again, I don't think they have looked at this as a tool like I'm going to use it. I think they've looked at it mostly as like a rehab stretching tool, where I think it's actually a really good strength training device because the sit to stand value is so good. You think about all the things we sit down and stand up to through the day. from the toilet to the car to the desk to the lazy boy to the couch, from the floor, just getting up and down from the floor. Like all of that is you're going to be at this parallel or sub-parallel, like deep squat position, and you got to get out of it. But a lot of clients, like they cannot get to depth or even inches above parallel and get out of that, get out of the bucket, so to speak. They struggle to get out of that, and you got to practice somewhere. So if I can control the depth and add load, get them really strong when it comes down to just body weight, piece of cake. Carry heavy things, far. I love this. 4 sets, 30 to 60 seconds, twice a week, heavy enough that you wouldn't want to walk any further. Like you get to a point where you're like, I'm done. I'm tired. I'm tired of carrying this thing. Half your body weight total would be great. So if you're a 60 kilo female, 132 pounds, about 30 kilos would be great. That's like 67 pounds, somewhere around in there. 6'7". Sorry. That's good. And carrying this, pick up 2 heavy implements. Walk. Don't shrug. Don't lean. The highest yield, yes. So by shrug, they mean like don't do repetitive shrugs, but you do want to have your shoulder blades retracted and tight, your arms tight, like you're carrying 2 pails of water and you don't want to spill. So you want to retract, hold tight, and then step, 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 step. But try your best. We call it the Jan Brady. Try not to Jan Brady your way, right? You want to just glide. Don't spill any of that water as you're carrying. We do a lot of loaded transfers as well. I'll have bags over here, and I'm like, bring all those bags to the other side of the room. And so they got to carry and pick up, and then get them all over there. And they're like, how'd I do? And I'm like, great job. Bring them all back. And they bring them all back all over. And I'm like, cool, go to the next station. Like it's that simple. It just moves stuff back and forth, carry heavy things. All right, single leg stance, eyes closed, ideally. Another thing I'm going to be able to use that kit for is being able to hold on to those poles, right? And be able to do some balance stuff here. Really, the thing I'm looking most forward to is I'm going to tether, well, I don't even know if I don't want to tell anybody this, but I'm going to tether a band to those poles so I can deload my step ups and sit downs and all that good stuff. It's going to be really cool. I'm super excited. Okay. 3 attempts, brushing your teeth. Ugh, this is so cliche. All the time. Just brush your teeth, balance on one foot. You'll never fall down. The world record, by the way, is 5 minutes and 23 seconds, I think, or 46 seconds, something like that. We looked it up one time. It's in one of my presentations. Guinness World Record. Guy continually brushed his teeth while standing on one foot for 5.5, almost 6 minutes. So you can give that a go. 3 attempts on each side. I think it's a little silly, to be honest. Balance training, good. Standing on one leg, brushing your teeth, you just don't stand on one foot and then fall over. We just don't do that in life. You really don't. It's not an applicable skill if you're like, I balance on one foot, so thus I am not going to fall down. That is not applicable. That's not how it works. And I think you're doing yourself a disservice by saying if that's what you do for balance and fall prevention, that'll get the job done. It won't. I would rather you pick up one of those weights in one hand, nothing in the other, and when you're doing your carries back and forth, walk your feet in a line like you're on a balance beam. That will do way more for your balance. I'm 100 to 1. That'll do way more for your balance, strength, coordination, all of that, keeping you more upright because you're having to resist the weight on one side, keep your body straight, and then walk this tightrope while you're going. Fight for that. That will be something worth. And we have clients do it with a countertop next to them. So if they start to lose balance, they can just put their hand on there. But the goal is, because a lot of our clients, like they can't walk in a straight line, let alone on a straight line. So when they walk, they kind of duck waddle, right, side to side. So trying to get their feet straight enough to just walk on the train tracks would be difficult, let alone one train track. Like that would be super, super tough. So if we're going to practice that, we have a regular stance, and then we have near inline, and then we have inline. So we'll have people just kind of slide their feet right next to each other. And you can do these positions while doing rows and curls and all that. So that's how we implement in balance training throughout the whole workout. Is we don't sit down, and when we are doing, curls and push downs and shoulder raises, whatever, we don't just stand bilaterally. We will stagger our feet, we'll inline them, we'll close one eye. We call it pirate style. Jar. Any of those options are going to be much better for you than just standing there on one foot while you brush your teeth. It's kind of silly. All right. Hanging from the bar. My first opinion of this would be start for 3 to 6 weeks on doing inverted rows on a TRX or a suspension strap where you lean back with your body weight and you row. You are the weight. So your shoulders, elbows, hands, grip strength, all that, all start to learn what it's like to be stressed under your own body weight. And as you recline and row, and then eventually get to fully inverted where you are completely upside down, your knees are bent, your feet are flat on the floor, you're in a high bridge position, and you're rowing your body weight. And or maybe more, you're doing inverted rows with a weighted vest on or a ruck. That would then, I would say, okay, let's head over to the bar and let's try doing some jump negative chin-ups. Chin up, palms up, jump, get your chin over the bar, and then come down slow, 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 slow to full extension, and then jump and pull again. And the cue is you have grapes in your armpits, crush them with your elbow when you come down. You don't want to think, I got to get my chin over the bar, so you're just trying to like bicep curl your chin over, pull your elbows down, get your lats involved, and then slow, 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 5-second eccentrics on the way down if you can. Until you can do a 5-second eccentric, do not muscularly hang because your shoulders aren't going to take it. You'll do it, and then you're just going to dangle there, and you'll be like, I made it, 30 seconds. And then when you get down, you're going to feel your shoulders are nearly dislocated or your rotator cuff tore or your labrum's ripped in half. Like deconditioned you are not capable of dangling off of a bar with your shoulders the way they are endured right now. Within seconds, your shoulders are going to start ripping apart. And you may not feel it in the moment because nerve-wise, this is not I don't know this exactly, but the reports and the responses I get and I've heard from people and I have felt myself is when you have ligaments tear, there really isn't a lot of pain. I don't think there's a high number of pain receptors in ligaments. So you'll be dangling from the bar and you'll feel your shoulder go whack, and there goes your labrum. And you're like, ooh, that felt weird. Something just let go in my shoulder. Well, then when you get down and everything now starts to swell and now you're like, uh-oh, now there's pain. But in the moment, I've seen people tear their ACLs and they just go, oh, you see their face is like, I just lost stability in my knee. But it's not like screaming. Not yet. And eventually it gets there, but not in the initial act. When a ligament just tears, it just tears. And so that's what's going to happen. If you I'm going to go do 2 to 3 sets 3 times a week for as long as you can. I mean, that's a lot of muscular hanging, number one. 2 to 3 times, 2 to 3 sets, 3 times a week. So that's every workout. You're going to do 2 or 3 muscular hangs as long as you can. I mean, yeah, it's going to get your grip strength and it's going to be great for your shoulders if you can hold it muscularly, but most people cannot do that. So shooting for 20 seconds if you're under 40, 15 seconds if you're 60 or higher. If it's under 10 seconds, there's a flag at any age. That means that you're not strong, and that's okay. I just find this one super dangerous and really, really risky. That if you're conditioned and strong, it's a great exercise. When I say it's dangerous, I mean that people the last video I told you about my client that saw the rings on the beach and she was like, oh, I did this as a kid. And now in her late 50s or whatnot, gets up there, destroys both of her shoulders. Like every rotator cuff, labrum, everything in her shoulders all came apart. Both of them. She was completely screwed. Both arms wrecked. And that happens when people that are deconditioned just pop up there and do it. And so you'll see, like, the other one I've seen is parallettes when you go to like a park. And in the park, they've got all the little workout equipment and stuff that you can do that's just like metal jungle jimmy kind of stuff. And you can like go over and there's a teeter-totter and then there's a metal elliptical and they've got all these things. It's like workout in the park kind of stuff. Well, they have there's this parallel bars that you can do dips with. Well, people get up there and they hold themselves up and then they'll go to do a dip or they'll just go to get down and you'll see their shoulder go and the whole thing comes loose because their shoulder is not conditioned to hold all their body weight because the shoulder hasn't held all their body weight in like decades. Since grade school, they haven't done anything like this. And then they used to do it every day at recess. And so now, fast forward 30, 40 years, You know, you were 18. Geez, I'd be lucky to see any 18-year-olds doing parallettes. Let's say 13, where you're actually playing on the playground and doing this. Now you're 60. Okay, so 45 plus years since you have done this, and now you're just like, I'm just going to pop up there and do it. What do you think your body is going to do? It's going to come apart. You haven't done anything for 3-4 decades now. You haven't done anything. It's going to come apart. You're going to get hurt. So same if you just go in and try to pick up a heavy deadlift bar. If you go to max bench press, like, it's not the exercise that's dangerous. It's the deconditioned you that's dangerous. But this one is so simple because you're like, just grab on and lift my feet up. You know, there's no load. I don't have to move any load. There is load. It's all of you. You are a heavy load. Lie on the floor, stand back up. Great. Can you get down and get back up off the floor in 12 seconds or less? Technically, you're not a fall risk. If you can do it under 8, that's better. Okay, that's our goal. Lie flat on your back, get all the way up, and then sit to rise. That was the sit to stand one. Earlier supported with the hands on the knees, etc. Cost you points. Single best predictor of independence is 75. Once a week, test yourself. Note which support you reach for. Meaning, do you put your hands on your left knee or your right knee? Do you always get up on the right side or the left side, etc.? And make sure the goal is that every client, every person can get down to their belly and get up, and get down to their back and get up. And again, in under 12 seconds would be ideal as you do that. And your goal overall is to keep and maintain that ability throughout your entire life. That would be a great goal. Again, I've had people that I work with that they haven't been on the ground in decades, you know. I think of my mom as when I was a kid, like, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 probably, playing on the floor all the time. And then I was the last one. I was the youngest. So after me being 10, that was 1990. From then on, I can't remember seeing my mom ever get on the ground. Dad used to get on the ground with me all the time. We'd wrestle constantly. We wrestled till I was 18. He would get on the ground and get up. And then when I went off to college, our wrestling was reserved to Thanksgiving and New Year's. Maybe on Christmas, but one of us always got hurt. So that was our concerns. Like, let's not screw Christmas. Let's not screw up Christmas, the emergency room visit. But all in fun. All right, women lose strength faster after menopause, for sure. You have perimenopause. Well, you have premenopause. Let's start here. Premenopause is any time from puberty to you're starting menopausal symptoms. Then you're in perimenopause, technically, as you're kind of like introducing this new stage of life. Then you're in menopause, so you're full-blown in it. Let's just put some numbers to it. So from 13 to 48, okay, something like that, you're in premenopause. And then perimenopause, you're like introducing 48 to 50. It's all starting. Menopause, 50 to, 55, whatever it takes, however long. Let's hope it's way shorter. And that, again, talk to your doctor. I'm not telling you to do this. Hormone replacement therapy, HRT, very, very helpful, very safe for most women. So check that out. If you're going through it, it helps a ton. And then let's say, 60, 55 and on is postmenopause. Well, that postmenopausal group, my numbers it's very different for everybody. And sometimes you're in menopause for like a decade. Other times it's like 2 years. People get hot flashes and they're over it. It just depends on the person, okay? Post-menopause, you are most vulnerable now because you basically don't have any hormones that assist you in building bone density, in building tactile ligament and tendon strength and stability. Your muscle mass, all of it, everything that was feeding into your body to help you maintain all that or build it is pretty much kind of gone now. But that doesn't mean that you can't introduce that either through HRT or through really good healthy eating and then stressing your body under heavy enough load where, as Jeff Goldblum said, life finds a way. And Jurassic Park, I think that was Malcolm, right? Dr. Malcolm, life finds a way. Must go faster. Yeah, he's great in that one. He's so good. But yeah, life finds a way. And this is kind of very cool. That was where the Lift More studies really made Belinda Beck, Lift More studies, Lift, M-O-R, found their place in this world of showing, I think it was 2018, if I'm remembering that correctly, women post-menopause, they were all like 60-ish, 65 and up. And post-menopause, all of them, increased bone density, got 1 centimeter taller improving their posture. Great grip strength, overall body health, bone density improved, muscle mass improved, performance across the entire battery of assessment tools that they gave them. All huge improvements. So this is a big one. The decade between 40 and 50 is the most important strength window a woman has. Not a metaphor, actual data. And yes, so from 40 to 50, you are setting the table for what 50 plus is going to be like. I don't want to get bulky. Should not be even in your vocabulary anymore. You're not going to get too bulky. If anything, as you know, anyone who's received a plant or a flower as a gift in a pot, if you don't water it, it'll die. If you water it, it's going to grow. What's it going to grow to? As long as you keep watering it, it's not going to just constantly grow, or else all these indoor house plants would just take over the room and we would eventually just be in this jungle. Like eventually they're just like, this is my max potential. This is what I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be a 4 foot high, whatever, ficus. And that's me. Well, that's you. You are going to lift weights and condition and build your body to a point where it's like, well, this is what I'm supposed to be naturally. And if you can do that with dense, hard muscle mass, that's going to make your bones be dense and hard as well. So now and again, statistically speaking, everyone is going to fall down at some point in their life. When you hit the ground, you bounce. You don't break and snap in half. And even in some cases, you don't even hit the ground. People just move really quick and their ankle just blows apart or their knee snaps, and it's just terrifying. So I want you to be as dense as possible, muscularly and bone-wise, right? And cognitively as smart as possible, not dense. That is our goal here as we work your way towards that menopausal phase. All right, so to wrap this up, women who train cardio and the body breaks on what it doesn't lift. The body breaks on what it doesn't lift. I read that right. Sit to stands, leg power, hip protection, your carries, your single leg work. We talked about alignments, inverted rows instead of dead hangs. Let's go there, and getting up and down from the floor. If you train, all 5 of those 3 days a week and get a cardiovascular response in there to make sure you are having a strength and conditioning program. Strength and conditioning. It's not conditioning and strength, ladies. It's strength and conditioning, meaning secondary. Where if I had to say which one's more important, to get stronger or to get conditioned, it would be 51-49 strength. Like it's just a little bit more, because cardiovascular health is super important. Without a healthy heart and lungs and brain, all this body is worthless, right? So you want to have that well taken care of. However, it is also being protected and carried by the frame. So the frame needs to be really strong. Yes, this is super important. That keeps us alive. But the frame has to house that. And that's where our job is like, well, let's build all these muscles and build up these dense bones and make sure we protect the most coveted, protected part of us, heart and lungs, as it feeds the brain, et cetera, and the spinal cord. Let's protect all that. But if you're demuscled, under-muscled, deconditioned, if your bones are soft, like literally get mushy in the middle because they're so soft that doctors can't put screws in them if you tear a muscle, they can't reattach it. There's nothing to screw it into because they go to screw into the bone and it's like wet drywall. It's just mush. It's paper mache, right? Good example. Like that's what it is, just mushy. Well, what do we do now? How do we fasten anything to that? Well, now your shoulder replacement's a mess. It's a disaster. We can't even do it. There goes your arm, that kind of a thing. We need you dense. We need your muscles strong. And you're not going to get bulky. You don't have the hormones to support, number one, getting hugely bulky. And let alone, you just don't, your body is not going to that's not going to happen with 3 days a week. Even if you work out for an hour, let's say you hit the weights super hard for an hour, 3 days a week. It's still not enough. These are full body workouts. It's still not enough for you to get hugely bulky. You'll get stronger. You'll have really nice looking muscles, and they might be nice and hourglass curved, and your shoulders will have a little pop to them, and your biceps will have that little vein down it, and you'll look amazing. And that's what I hope for all of you, because I like a nice, fit, V-shaped young lady or older lady who it looks like she is strong. And you are, because you've been training it. That's exactly what we want, because that frame carries you from decade to decade to decade. And yes, there is a potential for you to be 5'7" when you're 20 and stay 5'7", 5'6.5", all the way through your 70s into early 80s. There's a whole bunch of basketball players who are all like 7 foot, 6'10", etc., who are still 7 foot and 6'10", because they continue to lift weights into their 50s, 60s, 70s. You know, like, look at Bill Walton was like 6'10" or whatever. He still was when he passed away. I think he was, I don't know how old he was. A bunch of these guys. Bill Russell. What's the other guy I'm thinking of? That's, I'm blanking on his name now. My point being, these are the guys that are super, super tall, not muscled, overly muscled. Like David Robinson is who I was thinking of. David Robinson, 7 foot tall, super jacked, fit, still looks exactly the same. Like he's so stacked, so muscular, and so tall, exact same height. And he's like 58 or something like that. I mean, it's 60 maybe. I mean, these guys, if you stay fit and strong, you will retain your height, you'll retain your posture, and you're a less fall risk. The less likely you are to curve your body forward, the less likely you are to hit the ground. The better your posture is up and back, the better the backside of your body is, the more likely you are to stay on your feet. That's why the inverted rows and the carries, all this is all posterior chain, full body work. All right, that's enough from me. I hope you have a lovely day. Remember all of our goals here of your sleep and your lifting and your stepping and your eating and your gut health and not smoking and minimal to no drinking and everything else, good positivity around you and faith and health and routine, all of this, it all goes in to helping you live the best, highest quality of life that you can. All right, team, I hope you enjoyed this. I appreciate you. Thanks for listening to me ramble for 35 minutes. I hope you got some good stuff from it. Have a great day. Be safe. Continue to fight your good fight against sarcopenia. Hit the like button, share, help us build the community, and we will see you next time. Take care.